Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review, and what we're looking at this time is the Kotaoka Aogami, our blue number 2 Mioroshi Deba 210mm knife. So this line of knives has a core steel of Aogami, our blue paper number 2 reactive high carbon steel from Hitachi. They take that heat treat to about 62, 63 Rockwell-ish on that hardness level. And the construction is a 2-layer design on this style of knife. This is a traditional single bevel knife, so this is a right-hand oriented knife, so on the right side of the blade as you hold it, you've got a soft iron reactive cladding on this side, which wraps over the top on the spine, and then a little bit on the back side, and then this is your core steel right here. So it's a 2-layer construction method versus a 3-layer construction method. So these are traditionally pretty stiff and heavy, these Deba knives. So the Mioroshi is basically a shorter version of that knife, a more slender version. It's got a bit of a Gyuto profile to it. In your shape, you can see that. But look at that spine. It's a Deba. So anyway, what is the weight on this? It's pretty hefty. It's 11.4 ounces, 323 grams, and the dimensions and weights on these will vary a little bit from knife to knife. The edge length on this one's about 214 millimeters or 8.4 inches from the tip to the back of the heel, known as the chin. And then the overall length about 14.4 inches. Spine thickness is typical for a Deba. It's about 7 millimeters coming out of the handle. And then pretty much just hold that and have a little bit of taper, a little bit of taper. And then as you hit the chisel grind, you thin down towards the very tip. So again, this is a right-hand oriented knife for a right-handed person, and you can see the chisel grind right there. It's pretty easy to see that way. So I'll cover that some more, but the blade height about 44.4 millimeters at the heel, and then the handle is just a nicely crafted octagonal rosewood with a black packawood ferrule. Pretty nice fit and finish on the handle. On the install, it's a little bit oversized. I clocked this one in about 85 millimeters at 3.3 inches, so it's got some heft to it, but that's typical of a Deba. They put bigger, meatier handles on these. And then let's take a close-up look at the blade. So what's neat about these, they've got that horizontal brushed finish to them, which really helps when you dry the knife or wash the knife. You tend to go this way with the blade, especially when you're drying with a towel. So any scratches that you get will go with the finish, and it helps kind of hide those a little bit. You can see the core steel peeking through there on this side, and you can see definitely the blade road where the grind starts towards the edge. Easy to see. They've got a Kasumi or frosted type finish on it. And then you've got hand chiseled kanji on the right side. A really nice job on those. So this is a really pretty, elegant looking blade. A little bit of relief, fair amount of relief on the choil and also the spine. The back side of the blade has a little bit of embossed kanji on the back side. There we go. And then this is pretty typical. The way you sharpen these on the back side has a little bit of concave to it called the ura, and that's to help food from getting suctioned onto it, because this is meant for working with fish, things like that, and processing fish is kind of the main duty for it. But the way you flatten the backside, this is a good example, you basically just lay it flat on the stone, and the idea is the perimeter of the blade is what hits the stone, and that's what you deburr on the backside when you're finishing it up. So this, again, is a concave effect. The front side of the blade, or the right side of the blade for the right-handed orientation, you'll either run the blade road flat on there, or some people put a small micro bevel on it. This does have a small micro bevel out of the box. It's very, very small, so it's almost kind of an unfinished edge a little bit. I'll give it a 5 out of 10 because it's still pretty sharp, but it might take a little work the first time you do these, unless you put a micro bevel on it to go ahead and flatten the blade road. It's a little hard to tell sometimes with traditional single bevel type knives how good the grind job is on it and how smooth the blade road is with a few indulations and undulations and that kind of stuff until you actually grind on it. But it looks fairly clean. This looks like a pretty cleanly ground knife. But again, it's a little hard to tell. Do you actually put the blade road to stone and see exactly what you're going to get? So just nice fit and finish, nicely executed. This is a really cool knife. Here is the profile. It's not really meant for onboard use so much, but we're going to do that anyway. So just so you know, flat at the heel, and then a little bit of bevel, or excuse me, belly towards the tip, but fairly flat towards the heel. Again, probably not as much of a deal because you're going to mainly use this for off-the-board purposes. You can make the heel a little more robust for chopping through fish heads and stuff by grinding that more obtuse on the back inch or so of the heel, and then use your more acute grind towards the front of the knife where you do your more delicate and detail work. So there you have a well-executed Deba. This is the Kotaoka Blue No. 2 Mioroshi Deba 210mm knife. I forgot I'll add this to the balance point. Is right about there, so it's definitely just a little bit in front of a pinch grip. Hefty, but with lots of control. So there you have it, Kotaoka Mioroshi Deba 210mm knife.